Yeah, obviously a really good performance, really strong performance by the guys. 62 points, believe 750 yards is the single game record, if I'm not mistaken. Kids put together a great week of preparation, felt confident about it going in, really performed, really executed well. Some things to clean up. I think the kids will be the first ones to tell you that. But, to take that outing and in front of a great home crowd and all the alums that have came back and were there to support us, to have that sort of night or evening, is really, really fun, and we'll take it heading into the bye.
Dustin, 3 possessions, first quarter, 3 touchdowns. What was clicking today against their defense at the start?
I think that's just something we kind of always try to focus on, is coming out strong. You don't ever, as an offense, if you stall early, it kind of makes it harder to get going. So that's something we kind of emphasize. But guys were just executing, doing their job, and as you saw, it resulted in points.
Was the first touchdown a design play to get the ball to Cavius, and then he would throw it to Orr in that corner of the end zone? Was that a set play?
Yeah. Yes, sir.
Dustin, it seemed like you were taking more shots down the field. Say you gained more confidence, and now that your third straight game starting.
I guess you could say that, but that's just kind of our offense is taking shots. As Coach Lewis would say, high calculated risk shots. Or I messed that up. But yeah, that's just something we try to do, is take our shots and pick and choose them, and that's just something we've been trying to do.
It seemed like you chose more today, though.
Yeah, for sure. We wanted to attack them early. We definitely felt that our receivers could threaten them vertical, which they did, and try to take advantage of it.
Dustin, how did the defense motivate you guys, especially Jamal's pair of interceptions? How did that push the offense forward there?
It's huge, just being able to feed off each other. It's a family ordeal. Whenever we can get going to get the defense up, and whenever they get turnovers and big plays like that, it's just a momentum swing, big time.
You guys called a lot of trick plays, a lot on offense in the game. Just elaborate on that, like the early touchdown.
That's just kind of, I would say that's just our playing style. Is we try to be aggressive and kind of have something for everyone each week, and just get after it, I guess.
Coach, you mentioned trying to slow down their pass rush. Certainly you did that. Kind of talk about the offensive line play to make those 750 yards happen.
Yeah, it all starts up front. Those guys have done a really good job coming together. Had some guys go up and the next man step up. Some guys went down, some next man step up to be able to make all that happen. I think our efficiency on first and second down and being able to generate some first downs and getting the tempo, helping negate, that pass rush. When you're able to keep some defense linemen on the field and they're not used to playing at the pace that we play, you kind of create a new reality for teams to have to play at our tempo. And, the results, looking at it, we had 5 incompletions today, and the efficiency of what the receivers were doing, the way that we were throwing the ball, both with Crum and with Woody, and then obviously being able to protect. It's all interconnected in one way or another, and it was really cool to see it all come together today, whether it be the O-line protecting for the throw game or the offense being able to go for it on 4th down, which is a really bad call on my part, but the defense stepping up and making a play there, special teams having a huge impact on things. So it was really cool to see how all that comes together, and kind of like we felt throughout the course of the week, to where all 3 phases practiced really well and able to bring it together, which was really cool to see.
One key play in my mind was in the second quarter. You were leading 21-7, but they were driving, and Jamal made a fantastic play. The ball went through, I think it was Marlowe's hands, and Jamal picked it up. He moved it back into almost midfield. He got a field goal. And it seemed like it blunted their momentum for a while.
Yeah, it really stopped their charge offensively, and it was really one of those swing plays that provided a spark for our bench, and that's what we expect Jamal to do. That's what we expect those single-digit guys to do, to step up in those moments when they get the opportunity to get their hands on the ball, to seize it. That doesn't surprise me at all that he's able to make those plays, because he's done it on a consistent basis all throughout the preparation for this game.
Dustin, wants to say about the team. This is a game you're quote-unquote expected to win, and you come in here and not only win it, but just dominate.
I would say it's a big sign, I guess, for us that we're taking steps forward. But as he said, that there's a lot of things we have to improve on. It's honestly almost a bittersweet feeling to me, is that we left so much out there and we just didn't execute in and out every play. So it's encouraging, but at the same time, it's almost more drive to get better and pursue our goals.
Dustin, one or two punts the whole game. What will you use from this game going forward to keep drives alive and move forward and keep it on offense?
I mean, that's just comes down to kind of playing each play out as its own, not trying to make things happen or do too much in one play, and just staying ahead of the sticks and doing our thing.
Dustin, you were the first, I think it's first Kent State quarterback since 2014 to throw for over 300 yards. What'd you really see out there?
I mean, just try to take advantage of things they were doing coverage-wise and RPO and all that kind of new fancy stuff. But our receivers did a great job today, run after catch and all that, so it helped out a lot.
It seemed like he connected with a lot of the guys. I think there was 4 or 5 guys with 2 or more receptions.
Yeah. I mean, that's just work put in the summer. A lot of those guys coming up and throwing right here in the stadium all the time, all summer long, and just paying off.
Was it early on you went to, I guess this is for you, Coach, early on you went to Mike Kerrigan, I think 3 straight plays in the red zone. After last week's game, was it more, was that more of a focus early on? Get the ball at him?
No, I mean, we want to make sure that we got enough dynamics playmakers, in all 3 phases, that we want to be balanced in terms of who's getting the touches. And so we make a conscientious effort to distribute the football to a lot of different guys. That was kind of alluded to earlier, that you have multiple guys with multiple touches. But it wasn't necessarily per se, a deal where, hey, early on we're going to get it to Mike and play the game through Mike. But, having him back in the fold, and it just adds another weapon for us to be able to distribute the football to, and some of the looks that they presented, the opportunities just presented themselves, and we were able to recognize it, take advantage of it, and he's able to execute and make the plays when they come his way.
Jamal, they moved the ball on you a little bit in the first quarter, and then in the second quarter you really shut them down. Just talk about what happened there.
For that, it was just we weren't in the right spots, doing our jobs. It was all a whole bunch of controllables, and Coach Kaufman got to us, tightened up.
Made 2 pretty impressive interceptions, Jamal. Could you talk about both of them?
I'll say the first one is just playing through the whistle, and you run to the ball, you get rewarded. And the second one, I give credit to the D-line. They got pressure, and they gave me an opportunity to make a play. The D-line and the secondary, we play hand-to-hand with each other.
Is that going to be an argument to have Coach line you up a receiver at all throughout the season?
Hey, I'm always welcome to be an outside receiver for him.
We just got to create controversy in some way, right?
Coach, you got the win, but not only a win, a MAC win too. So how does it feel being 1-0 in the MAC already? I mean, before Wisconsin, but to get that first dub with the MAC.
Yeah, I mean, it's important because it's the next opportunity. Obviously, the conference games, you put a premium on that. When you look at our overall goals for the season, it's to help these guys grow as young men first and foremost, and then as you kind of go through everything, being contenders in the East and competing for that opportunity to go play in Detroit is something that we talk a lot about, and this was obviously the first step in that process, and to win at home and to stay undefeated at home, that's something that good teams do, and I think we're showing that we're making some strides and hopefully earning some respect around the league, and things that we put on tape will speak for themselves.
Jamal, you've been here for a while. How does it feel to come into a game like this and really not only win it, but just kind of put the hammer down there in the second quarter, in the second half?
The honest answer is be good. It's great to be on the win side.
What's the difference between in the past maybe when you had a chance to put a team away and you didn't, and now you...
I would just say it's the culture change. When you got your foot on their throat, keep it on their throat, not lit up, and just keep going for us.
Coach, the slogan around the program, and it's on all the gear, is be the alpha. And in this game, with so many of you guys making plays and your guys just making plays on the offensive side, defensive side of the ball, what was the one moment in this game that you think personifies that motto that you have throughout the program?
Well, I mean, that model for our guys, if you ask either one of these guys or anyone in our family, for us, being the alpha means that you're constantly improving on a daily basis and you're showing up and you're performing when the family needs you. So today, as a whole, there's no one moment that you can point to in the game. When the family needed Maul to step up and make a play because he's running to the football, he did, and he got a pick and he got a good turnover. That was his piece, right? For Crum, when the opportunity presented himself to play pitch and catch, he did. But that whole mantra is about us improving as people first and foremost, and doing what's right off the field, outside the white lines, and being good students and great ambassadors for this university first and foremost. And then when it comes to the game of football, that the next opportunity that you have where you need to show up and there's a day in which things really count, like obviously today does, and the 12 opportunities that we have where the moment truly counts, that you step up, because I truly believe that you don't rise to the moment you fall to your level of training. Either you're trained or you're untrained. So every single day, if we step on the field or we go to the classroom or we're in our community and we're finding ways to improve, so that when those moments come, whether it's for the exam on Tuesday or in our psych class, or it's the test this day against Bowling Green, we're able to perform and show up. And I think, the last thing that the community is going to recognize is the performance in between the white lines. It's the last area where you get recognized as a champion. But you could point to different road marks since we've been here, to the cultural change that Jamal's talking about, to where we got a team GPA that's above a 3.0 right now. That's a testament to what these kids have done off the field and the way that they've improved as students, and now the community and our fans are seeing it as athletes. And that's what being an alpha, a whole person, is all about, just daily improvement. And it's not just these guys. I mean, shoot, our equipment managers and everyone in our family, is embodied that. And because of that, to our administration, top down, they're treating our guys like champions. And because of that, we can position ourselves to go play for championships.
What's Club Dub going to be like after a big win like this?
It was a good time. It was a very good time.
You just mentioned what good teams do, and take care of business in a game like that.
Yeah.
Just talk about how you were able, to do it.
Again, it goes back to the things that we talk about day in and day out, right? To where our standard is to protect our home turf, that we're going to go about our business and the process the right way. We had a great conversation as a family prior to the Kennesaw State game about, what it means to respect the process both on and off the field, and to hold that process of winning to high regard. And I really think since that conversation, there's been a cultural shift that we saw in winning in an adverse situation against a very good Kennesaw State team, going down to Alabama and gaining some confidence from some moments in that game, taking some really major lessons away from it. And then I challenged the team this past Sunday, was last week's preparation for Auburn, was that a byproduct of us winning a really tough situation against Kennesaw State? And that's why the process was different. Was it because the preparation was better because we were going to play a top 10 team in the country? Is that why it was? Or is it because that's who we are? When you put this flash K on your chest, is that the new standard? Is that the way that we go about our business? That we're not going to just go after winning, and we're not going to be obsessed with winning. We're going to be obsessed with doing the things that winning requires, both on and off the field. And I think that's how a day like today comes to fruition. And hopefully that's who we are, day in and day out, that we are improving. And when the moments come, we perform and we show up for the family. And if we can do that consistently, I think our fans are going to be pretty happy, and our kids will be pretty happy, and Club Dub will continue to be a great place to be.
Coach, Wisconsin next week, with your history there, what's that going to be like?
And we're going to enjoy the bye week right now. That's the next process to winning. When we get up there, I know a lot's going to be made about that and my history going back there. And there's a lot of great memories, but it ain't about me. Just like today, it's not about me, it's about these kids. The games are about the kids, it's all about them. And that's just something that we'll be there and we'll deal with, but it is what it is.
As the guy calling the plays, though, how do you like looking at not only seeing the 750 on total yards, but you actually split it right down the middle, 375 pass? Is that a dream of it?
It's good because I don't have to answer questions about balance. I mean, it's a great job by the kids to execute. I mean, again, all those play calls, they don't mean anything. And like we talked about on the radio show the other day, on Thursday with Jacob and Ty, the plays by themselves, they're only as valuable as the ink in the paper or the grease board and the marker, whatever that value is. Strum's still doing the calculations for that for me. But plays come to life because of players, and we got great players. We got great young people in our program, and because of that, that's what happens, right? I didn't make a single play today. I happened to guide some pieces on the chessboard, and the kids went out and they executed, and that's what it's about. To where we as coaches, we should step back. We've had our career. It's not about us. When you start talking about these kids and everything else that goes along with the hard work that they've put in. Good.
All right, thanks.
Cool.
Thanks, guys.
Awesome. Thank you, fellas.
Thank you, guys.